Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Devi Akella. I'm the president of DC Bio Boosters. On behalf of Dougherty County School System Superintendent, Mr. Kenneth Dyer, our band and orchestra lead teacher, Mr. Roy Edie, and our orchestra director, Mr. Alexander Reshetnichenko, we warmly welcome you to 2025 Dougherty County Youth Orchestra Spring Concert. DC Bio is celebrating its 20th season, continuing its mission of helping young musicians develop their potential and achieve academic success. This program enriches their lives in ways only music can. Our dedicated orchestra director, Mr. Alexander, has been leading DC Bio since 1999. Tonight's concert will begin with DC Bio performing alongside Dougherty High, Westover High's advanced and intermediate orchestras, presenting 5 selections. Then 2 solo performances with orchestral accompaniment will showcase the talents of our senior students. After that, we will have the award ceremony, where the most dedicated and most improved orchestra members will receive the well-deserved recognition. Following the award ceremony, beginning orchestra members from Dougherty High and Westover High School will take the stage, and the entire orchestra will perform 5 additional selections. Now, as we prepare to begin, we invite our concert master, Yasmin Lopez, to come forward and tune the orchestra. We will start our program with a piece which does not need any introduction. We all know Beethoven's Symphony No. 5, which was written between 1804 and 1808. It is one of the best known compositions in classical music and one of the most frequently played symphonies. It consists of 4 movements. The group will perform for you the arrangement of the first movement of the piece, Allegro con brio. Welcome on stage DC Bio conductor, Mr. Alexander. Symphony, number 1, movement 3. This versatile arrangement is a great showcase for the bass players. The beautiful middle section melodies are performed by violins and violas, being accompanied by the cello section playing the harp part. Enjoy this beautiful arrangement of the famous Mahlar's creation. composer Gustav Holst loved astrology. So between 1914 and 1916, he created the planets. An orchestral suite which immediately became very popular piece in the repertories of the orchestras around the world. Each movement of the suite is named after a planet of the solar system and its corresponding astrological character as defined by Holst. Today, we will perform an arrangement of the movements of the planets Jupiter. The next selection will be a beautiful piece written by Dirk Spata, City of the Steel. Brooding melodies ride like mist over dark, churning chords sweeping between orchestra sections before disappearing into the haze as dark themes give way to a warm, yearning middle section. Then the mechanical ostinando returns and remix to a rousing finish. Enjoy this exciting composition. award-winning American composer, conductor, musician, and actress. Soon-hee was born in Seoul, South Korea, and adopted by the Newbold family. She grew up in Frederick, Maryland, and began playing piano at age 5 and violin at age 6. Newbold won prestigious competitions and performed as a concert artist at an early age. Later, she concentrated on film scoring, orchestration, and audio production. The next piece on our program is A Pirate's Legend. Pirates are a rich part of history that has produced myths, legends, and romanticized stories. A good pirate story is not complete without buried treasure. The dreaded Jolly Roger, an adventure on the high seas. The piece you're about to hear contains all of the above. next selection features the violinist from the first violin section, Shivani Yadavali. Shivani became a part of the youth orchestra in fall 2022. She is graduating from Deerfield Windsor High School and will be attending the University of Georgia at Athens on a foundation fellowship, a prestigious full-ride scholarship. She plans to major in biology and minor in Spanish. Shivani will perform for you today a piece written by Paul Barker. Mysterium is a lively and mystic composition which features a haunting violin solo melody robustly accompanied by pizzicato strings. Let's give Shivani Yadavali, my daughter, a warm welcome on stage. Our last selection before the award ceremony features the player from viola section. Ashanti Morris has joined the orchestra program 2 years ago. Within this short period of time, her viola skills have improved significantly. She is a great musician and has been a part of the band since 6th grade. She started as a clarinet player, then picked up a few other instruments, including bass, clarinet, soprano, saxophone, trumpet, and mellophone. She is qualified for both the district and all-county bands this year, performing on soprano clarinet and bass clarinet. Her future plans are to major in music education at FAMU. Afterwards, she would like to become a music teacher or a musical therapist. Tonight, Ashanti will perform for you the piece for which she composed herself. The piece is written for clarinet and string orchestra, Pure Imagination, written by Ashanti Morris, Josh Groban, Adonai Michael. Let's welcome on stage Ashanti Morris. is time to call on stage Dougherty High and Westover High School's beginning orchestra students. While they're getting to their seats, we will get ready for the award ceremony. Mr. Alexander.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our spring concert. Nice to see you guys all here. Thank you for coming, supporting us as usual. This year was very nice for us, but very challenging on the other hand as well. As you probably remember, last spring I had like 10 violins graduated from. Yes, there was a lot of seniors last year, and I lost a lot of violins, so it was very challenging this year to find the players, dedicated players who would come to our rehearsals. We rehearse once a week on Tuesdays, and I need the students who come, to be very committed to that, because when we go to the festival, we need to make sure we're all on the same page, because we're competing there, and we need to practice a lot. And so it was kind of challenging, but we still went to the festival and we did very good. As a matter of fact, I was very proud of my kids. We went to Tampa, Florida, festival Music in the Parks, and we played there, and we had good time in the park, of course, after that, and then we had the award ceremony in the park as well. And we got our first place, and we got also our excellent rating here. So this is our trophy. There. So thank you to the students' hard work, and again dedication. That I really appreciate when students come and practice every Tuesday and finding time. And we, of course, we needed to practice some extra as well. Before to go to Tampa, we were practicing Tuesdays and Wednesdays, a couple of weeks, few weeks in a row. So we did good. We did good, and I'm happy about it. And I'm very excited about next year, though, because as you see, I have a lot of beginners who I hope next year going to be there for us to support us, and we're going to have more people, because we had only 4 first violins went to the trip in 2 seconds. So it was very, but they did a great job, and So that was very good, and also I hope we had recruitment visits this year. We had in November, and we have one more extra one at Robert Cross. So we're hopefully going to have a lot of beginners next year as well. So looking forward for that, and looking forward. I hope that 4C program not going to completely get all students from me, because Ms. Jones is the only person on the middle school level, and last year she had like 5 violinists. I was hoping, you see, I knew I have shortage on the violin section, and I was hoping. Guess what? None of them was able to get, because they were involved. I don't know what. I think they were in 4C. And Westover, for some reason, won't allow us to have. If they enforce, it's like, that's it, it's like a stamp. Bam, no orchestra or band or anything. So I don't know, maybe they can do something about it, because Dougherty is more flexible in this case. I can go and we can do something about it. 5 students, I couldn't even see them. I don't know how they look like. And they were 3 years in the program, and they were probably pretty good players. So hopefully support is going to be there. I really hope it would be great, because one thing is when the hardest the instrument to teach to learn is violin. It's the smallest but the hardest. So that is why I need the violins, and I couldn't get them. So maybe maybe they're not going to take 4C, or maybe they're going to be more flexible. I'm sure it's possible. I mean, if you want, you can find a way. I always like that. All my life. If you have an idea, and you just go towards it, you can find a way. I mean, it's impossible. But anyway, everything is great. So what we're going to do, we're going to have our award ceremony as usual, springtime, and we have our 4 kind of awards this time. So we're going to start. Ms. Gail, could you help me out, please? So let's start with the small ones, and it doesn't matter the order, just pass it to me, and I'm going to call the student. Yes, if you don't mind. So the first type of awards is Music Achievement Award 2025. And the first one goes to Jesquan Milic. very much. Thank you, just one. Thank you so much. Here you go. As I mentioned in past, not today, but I'm going to mention it today as well. The awards go to the students who who were in attendance in youth orchestra after school practice again, because I want them to have some kind of incentive besides the trip and stuff like that. So so those who missed less than 4 rehearsals during the course of the year. So, and I have quite a few of them here. Latasha Freeman. Lydia Perry. Lydia is 9th grade cello player from Dougherty. Unbelievable student, unbelievable player. Thank you so much, Lydia. Okay, Cyril Elia Richards. Cyril? Yes, she's around. She's here. She's here. Yeah, it's okay. We're going to pass it to her. Shivani Yadavali. Thank you, Shivani, for the solo. Rishan Bramwell. Maureen Sanders, principal viola section player, principal player. Yes, Maureen, great job, great job. Yes. Tawaski, bass number 1. He played solo today. Tawaski, extra applause for you. He played solo, yeah, great solo. Yeah, he played in the second piece we played. As you remember, the bassist started. He was the one playing solo. Micah Sanders, that's the sister of Mirin, and she is principal cello. Guess what? Sisters, both principals. Yay! Okay, Jalen Edwards, bass player, great bass player. Yes, he started with me in 9th grade at Westover. Now he's 11th grade. Yeah, they improved so much. I remember 2 years ago when we just started. You know, when you teach them, you know, there's a lot of stories there's all the time. But anyway, they're doing great right now. I'm so proud of them. Yasmin Lopez, our concert master. Yay! The most important person in the orchestra, player number 1. Thank you. Yes. Abigail Johnson, our assistant concert master. Good job, Abigail. Always there, always playing, always present there. Thank you so much, Abigail. Always helping and stuff like that. I appreciate people like that. More people like that, I would be the happiest ever. Jalen DeLoach, great violin player, violin section. Jalen DeLoach. Be careful. Okay, that's maybe one more. Okay. Colin Stokes. Okay, guys, be ready because you know probably who's going to be coming. So make sure you're ready. Not like you're surprised. You shouldn't be surprised. You know you're good. You don't need to be surprised. Summer O'Neill. Thank you, Summer. Oh yeah, she's one of those two. Syria was one, and then Miss Summer. So then two second violins who went to the trip. Thank you, Summer. And now we're switching to perfect attendance, right? Now we got perfect. So I said that those who missed less than 5, right? I said those receiving awards, period. But we have people who didn't miss any rehearsals, and that's unbelievable, or who missed 1 maybe. And that's the first one, Tawaski. Our principal bass player. Sorry, many of you only go twice or 3 times to me. So sorry for making you, walk too much, but it's okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Next person. And that's Lydia Perry. Yes, Lydia, yes. Of course. Of course, you're always there and stuff like that. And you improved so much. I cannot believe it. Lydia, thank you. Jalen Edwards. Yes. Jalen was there every time. They're great friends too, by the way. Sometimes Tawaski for the rehearsal a little bit late, coming, and Jalen preparing bass for him. And if Jalen is late, Tawaski preparing his bass. It's unbelievable. I mean, I'm looking at it, it's unbelievable. And people should be like that. I appreciate that. It's great. Syria Lai Richards. Syria Okay. Yeah, Syria. Oh, yeah, I'll talk. Yeah. Let's go, Latasha Freeman. Next one. There you go. Perfect attendance, guys. Perfect attendance. Yasmin Lopez, of course, our concert master. Always there, always helping, always asking advice and stuff like that. Thank you. Very good. Now we go to the next one, and that's Outstanding Senior Musical Achievement Award. So we have few seniors, just a few of them, and it's Shivani Devi. Thank you so much, Shivani. Good luck. Next year, you're going to be in college. Thank you so much. This is yours. Now this one, the third one, we're going to do it later. Yeah, this one, you keep that. Ashanti Morris. Good solo. Ashanti. I'm going to still clap. Good job. Now, what about this one? Did we miss this one? Oh yeah, that's for Syria. I got you. Sorry. Okay, now, usually we have three types of awards, and we kind of went through them already. But this year, again, we had very challenging situation in violin section. And it was a few weeks when I thought I was ready to cancel the trip because I had, at the beginning of the year, I put 5 people. I had 5 first violins. So I moved people from second violin section last year to the first violin, 5 of them, because 5 is not enough, but I needed first violin section. Now, when in the middle of the year I realized that I don't have anybody in second violin section to go to the trip, I was ready to cancel, and then I didn't know what to do. And guess what? Syria. She came to me and she said, Mr. Alexander, we don't have anybody there. Would you like me to help you out with the second violin section? She by then already learned all parts for first violin, and that's not easy. And I said, Syria, are you sure you're going to be able to learn all parts? And she said, yeah, I'll do that. And she worked so hard, and she's always there. She's everything doing, I'm just unbelievable. So I decided to have different kind of awards. Most valuable player award, like in sports. So she's the most valuable player this year because if not her, we would not be able to go to the trip. She pulled it off and she did a great job. Moreover, last night she didn't feel well at all. She didn't go to school and her father contacted me. And he explained what was happening, and he asked if, I said, if she can, we need her, but if she can. And guess what? She was here. She's not here now on stage, probably she doesn't feel good. I hope she's going to be able to finish the concert. But she's the one who made the trip real, and we went, and we played great. So I'm very thankful to her, and these 3 awards she's going to receive a little bit later whenever she's going to be available. But she did great. Okay, guys, I think with that all, I think we're done. I was speaking probably half an hour, so sorry about that. But we're done, and we're going to finish the concert. Thank you so much again for coming. We appreciate you all. We're going to do our last 5 pieces.
Now the joint orchestra will perform for you 5 more pieces. First selection is James Bond. James Bond is a fictional character created by British novelist Ian Fleming in 1953. A British secret agent working under the code name 007, Bond has been portrayed on film in 27 productions. The most famous theme from the movie, which we will perform for you now, is arranged by Laszlo Stan, who was teaching orchestra here at Radium Middle School between 2006 and 2014. This fine work begins in a vigorous style. The middle part represents a beautiful contrasting melodic statement in a much slower tempo. An energetic reprise finishes the composition. popular hit Beat It was released on Feb 3rd, 1983. Beat It received the Grammy Awards for the Record of the Year and Best Male Rock Vocal Performance, as well as 2 American Music Awards. Enjoy this familiar tune. We're all familiar with the bass line and the rhythmic dance beat. Please enjoy Michael Jackson's famous song, Billie Jean. Another great pop hit just right for strings. Just like Viva La Vida, Coldplay's mega hit has great appeal for student players with an infectious riffs and energetic drive. This arrangement captures the group perfectly for strings ensembles who want to learn and perform contemporary air-playing songs. With lots of unisons for the orchestra, appropriate changes to the melody, and infectious percussion parts, this one will definitely be your favorite. Before we play our last selection, we would like to mention our sponsors: Albany Symphony Orchestra, Alfred N. Corey, Gillespie Printers, Regional Eye Center. Thank you for your support, makes a difference. Also, we would like to thank Albany State University for hosting our group tonight. Thanks to those parents who helped all year long. Thank you for coming here to support us. Have a wonderful summer. Now, please enjoy Clocks arranged by Robert Longfield.